Shalom. Passover, Pesach, is my favorite time of year. There's a lot of preparation, but unlike any other Jewish holiday, I love the way the rituals, the story, the themes, the melodies all combine to form a spiritual symphony. I think the most impressive event of the Jewish calendar year is Passover. It is the holiday that best encapsulates Jewish life, practices, theology, and beliefs. To someone wanting to celebrate and have a Seder, the traditions can be somewhat overwhelming. No other holiday has more rituals. No other holiday has more customs or practices. And while nothing can compare to holding it at home, it can be challenging to those not as versed in all the traditions in which they were. As a result, many congregations like ours hold what are called community sidarim, seders, to allow everyone who wishes to participate to be able to experience Passover's richness. Now, what if you want to do it at home? Well, the good news is you can go online after you watch this video, and I bet you can find a guide to a 10-minute Seder, a 30-minute Seder program, a full Seder, complete with all the melodies that you can download. Pretty much everything you need to guide you through this extraordinarily important night for the Jewish people. And as a rabbi, I have to admit that I find a lot of what I see online very clever, very creative, and well done. But in my opinion, they all miss something critical. And that is the overriding themes, the bigger ideas. I mean, they tell you what to do. They tell you how to do it, how to have a Seder. But I find they miss the larger why. As in, why is this evening so important today? What does the unleavened bread, the bitter herbs, the objects on the table Seder night actually say to this generation? If you're having a Seder at home, or if you're watching this just to understand Passover, let me offer you this introduction to your 2-minute Seder or 2-hour Seder. Here's what I would say before the Seder begins at your home to give the answer to the larger, why is this night different? And maybe give the evening the proper introduction it deserves. This is what I would say. My friends, we are here tonight, as our ancestors long ago, gathered around this table to remind ourselves that the Jewish people live. Through slavery and liberation, exile and freedom, we have survived. We are a remarkable people. Kings and priests, persecuted and victims. Nations have risen and nations have fallen. The nation of Israel has outlived them all. We eat matzah and bitter herbs tonight because these have been our companion foods through the liberation and through the bitterness. To remind us that, to quote Mark Twain, our history does not necessarily repeat, but it often rhymes. These comfort foods that we have on the table, comfort foods, unique to our people on this night, have traveled with us on our backpacks of broken dreams, by foot through the wilderness, by boat to promised lands like America, and back again to our blessed soil in Israel. We are here tonight because we are a people connected to each other with unique practices and customs. We dip, we will recline, we'll create a sandwich. We drink not 1, but 4 required cups of wine. We spill drops of wine at designated times. We now also place cinnamon sticks, leeks, sugar cubes, even an orange or a banana on our table. They all have meant something or mean something to this ancient group of wanderers. Traditions, old and just beginning. We have bonded together, speaking with our ancestors and the people we have added and lost along the way, by using the common universal language called ritual, crossing borders and transcending cultures, rituals that have translated our conversations into a timeless language and allowed us to touch our past, to frame our present, and imagine our future. And tonight, we begin another conversation that we hope will be carried by future fellow Jewish travelers. And we are here tonight because throughout it all, the Jew has traveled with God. Intimately close for some, infinitely distant for others. God has been the unique voice that has shaped each of our people's events. Whether thanking God for our salvation, crying out in vain for help, or railing against the Lord for continued indifference, the Jewish people have found themselves struggling with and at the same time embracing the unique bond we share with our Creator. To paraphrase Elie Wiesel, in the labor pits of Egypt and at the foot of Mount Sinai, at the fall of Jerusalem and at the rise of the modern Jewish state, the Jew has loved God, the Jew has hated God, but the Jew never seems to ignore God. So my friends, we are here to celebrate our glorious people by speaking with past generations and preparing the next one through the language of our rituals. And here with us tonight, we welcome the divine presence that has traveled with us and brought us to this day. May this night be different from all other nights. And with that, I wish you a Chag Sameach, a joyous and meaningful Pesach to you and to your families.